Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back in today with a brand new video, and as always, down title below be the topic we're talking about today. So SAO Progressive Volume 4, man. So I gotta come out and say right now that if I was ever going to say, hey, buy the hard copy, buy the physical copy of a manga series, for me personally, since I'm not the biggest manga reader, I would say SAO Progressive is one of them for anyone who doesn't know. So there's just kind of like how high I hold the manga for Progressive. I feel as if it is the best version of Sword Art Online, period. And if they're already going to do a reboot instead of, just continuing the story after Elysiation arc, I would say go do it. And I would applaud them to do so. I would welcome that even more so than what we see now because of how detailed it is. So, and now for the people who have been here, you've been following me doing this for a little bit, not too long. I only got like 3 or 4 videos out on it. It's been a while, but I'm here to say, guys, affiliate links are in the description below for you guys to purchase them if you want to. But I'm here to say, this volume was just as good as the previous ones because they went into detail about the blacksmith. And that's the thing that's been kind of like the hidden secret for the past couple chapters, quite a few chapters, 10 chapters or so. The past 2 volumes, I'm pretty sure, actually, to be precise. And I love what they did with the fight because they did 2 things. One, they not only had great art. The art for the fight was awesome. I would have loved to see this, these panels animated. It seemed as if there was a lot of movement going down. And Sword Art Online, does pretty good job as animation. We all know that. Art looks good. I would love to see the art and whatnot for this fight because it did remind me of Gleam Eyes, except with even more action, more movements. I mean, not just Kirito fighting, you had Asuna getting in there at the end, but we'll hop into that in a second. But it's crazy to see how they're able to kind of focus on, okay, who was all in the blacksmith thing? Who was pulling the strings? Was it someone else forcing the blacksmith's hand? Was it just him doing it, or were people kind of bullying him into it, or threatening him into it? And we find out that was actually Team H, Orlando, and I loved how that was all they went in more in depth though. They went even more in depth. It wasn't just kind of black and white. They went more in depth to where Kabao, Asuna, all of them were kind of in on it per se, and they kind of all set this up. They kind of figured it out already, right? And Kirito was actually the one that didn't figure it out, so it shows that it's not just a Kirito show, which was cool to see at the same time. But to see how they had to defeat 3 bosses, to see how they kind of, this new boss, they brought in these 3 cows, I guess, I don't even know what you guys want to call them, centurions, basically. They brought in the one from last episode, or excuse me, last floor, and then they kind of showed them again, but they built upon that. One was a general, and now one's a lord, or one was a lord, and now it's a general, and you even have Agil saying, hey, if the last floor was a general, or a lord, why is this one a general? Why did he get demoted? But we see Kabao and we see the informant. Those 2 more importantly are really just more. Kabao's more of a support character, but whenever I look at the informant, that character is really the main cast member. And that's something that's really special to me because the informant was there, and I always want to know more about her because she's the person that sneaks around. She's sly. She's the person that we just wonder how she gets her information. We wonder if she's really a good person or she's a bad person. We kind of wonder what her morals are. She's just an interesting character because we get to see her, but just not a lot. And she's just kind of like, does she care about Kirito as a person, or is she just in it all for herself? We see that she kind of is fond of Asuna and Kirito in a way, and she has a deeper relationship with them because they're able to kind of understand each other. I'm sure Asuna and Kirito they're smart enough to kind of pick her apart, and we got to see her kind of hanging out with them in the very first few chapters, very first, couple of volumes of the manga of SAO Progressive. So it's cool to see that she actually, actually helped them beat the boss. Finding out that the hermit actually had the details of the boss underneath that rock. It seems that Kirito kind of already knew that from based off what the informant said. So it's cool to see that she went back to where she first met Asuna, wanted to check something out, and then came back and helped them out to defeat the 2nd level boss. And using your support characters and/or main support characters, not your lead characters, but main characters, and actually have them contribute to the story is something that SAO has failed to do really hard. Klein. Everyone loved Klein. Why was he not used more? Agil. He was an awesome character. Why was he not used more? You have these characters that are so likable, but they were never used and abused. Elizabeth was a cool character. I think the only character no one really likes in SAO is either Yui or it is was it Elizabeth? Not Elizabeth, but Silica. So I mean, I hate how SEO is not used those characters because they're likable. They have great personalities. You know, you kind of vibe towards them. You like seeing the interactions of Kirito and Klein. You like seeing the interactions of Lisbeth and Kirito. But we never really got to, you know. We know, not you know, we know. But that's something that's cool to see nonetheless. So I'm just kind of stuck. Like, why did they not use that and abuse that? So other than that, though, we also do kind of get to see that they tried to set up Laughing Coffee. They tried to set up PKing guilds because after, you know, more towards the fight's ending, wherever Asuna, you know, arrives, gets it done in 3 days. She actually does the same thing Kirito does and gets it done in 3 days. Given that I don't know. I don't know what happened to that, but given that the cow kind of broke the rock instead, I don't know if that was the key, but she did use Crescent Moon on the Hermit after the rock was broken because she feels as if he's probably looking at her skirt, but hey, that's neither here nor there. But we got to see the other guy that actually had the problem with his... No, the blacksmith didn't have the problem with the vision, but we see the blacksmith actually got it done in 3 days too, so that's pretty cool to see as well. But she arrives. It's cool to see how she arrives. It's pretty awesome, and it kind of shows how Asuna was not a sturdy, stable personality as a character in the very beginning, because she shows up, yeah, she's a badass, but she's nervous. You see that facial expression to where she's kind of like sweating a little bit and kind of like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, you know, she's like, I guess I got the entrance right, and it adds depth to her character, because it shows that she had to be built up to the point to where she's confident she is, you know, Lightning Flash Asuna, and it makes you wonder where Kirito and Asuna's relationship really was before all this, because I look at Kirito and Asuna, and you know, in the anime, she's really, her and, you know, Kirito are kind of presumed to be acquaintances more than anything else. Whenever we see them arguing about the killing of the NPCs, and then we get to do the arc about PKing in the safe zone, they seem as if they're acquaintances, and they've been around each other maybe 4 times or so. But no, I mean, through the first 4 volumes, I mean, through the first 2 floors, they've been together a tremendous amount of time. And it makes you just wonder, it's just kind of like, well, I can't wait to see how this relationship actually got built up. Why did that, you know, why did the anime portray it to be, you know, it followed the story, you know, the source material, but why did it portray it to be as if they weren't around each other very much? Maybe they weren't around each other very much in, you know, in the original light novel series, you know? I know the light novel series is supposed to add a little bit more depth, right? But Progressive just does, yeah, it's depth everywhere. It says, hey, let me fill in the blank there, let me fill in the blank there. You know, not every single blank in the world, but it goes way more in depth, whether it be about how the game works, right? The mechanics, whether it wants to give us some context on certain situations, whether it wants to go in depth about character relationships, you know. But more importantly, it shows us a cast that's bigger than just Akio, Klein. It shows us the informant, you know. It shows us the blacksmith. It shows us Orlando. It's actually showing characters with, I guess, personas, with their own thought processes, and it gives us other people that are actually people and treated as support characters rather than background characters, right? So that's probably cool to see, and that's one reason why I'd really say that you guys do need to try to check this SAO Progressive out and get your hands on it, you know. Once again, affiliate links are in the description below. But other than that, though, when I'm looking at my notes here, I think I've really essentially covered everything. But outside the last thing, I really did want to cover the PKing. So after all the blacksmith stuff goes down, and he admits he is the one who did it, and then was like, you know, you almost cost me to die. You know, it's money it cost my guild members. I couldn't be in the guild unless they helped me out, and they made them dirt poor too, and they're struggling now because of it. And he's like, and then some guy comes up and says, hey, guess what? You want to know something? Someone died because of him. And it's a lie. He didn't have any facts behind it after we find out in the end, but everyone believes it, and they're about to kill this guy, and they're trying to make a case for PKing another player, you know, well, moral. It's morally correct, ethical. And Kirito catches on to that, and then someone calls him out saying, yeah, this is a bunch of bullshit. And the reason why the guy wanted to try to get away with the PKing thing and try to make it justified, even though he did it in a justified manner rather than just killing somebody, he was trying to make guilds that could kill. Well, he's trying to make it acceptable, socially, acceptable. It's trying to make it not affect your status, and that's the beginning of, I think, what's going to be Laughing Coffee and other guilds right there. So it makes you wonder, maybe this guy that tried to do it the first time that ended up not being able to go through with it. I mean, they let him go. It did not show in the manga that they arrested him or did anything to him, because I mean, the second floor didn't establish things like that yet. They have not established things like that yet. So it makes me feel as if maybe that guy was the original creator of Laughing Coffee that tried to get away with it, but did not end up getting away with it. So yeah, other than that though, I mean, great stuff. I believe I did go over everything I wanted to. Also, if you guys do want to know this, Kirito and Asuna actually almost died on floor level 2. That would have been crazy. But, yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder where Kabao went wrong as well, because Kabao is someone that he's the one that pokes holes in the PKing person. The guy that wants to PK the blacksmith, he's the one that kind of pokes holes in his argument and stuff and his claims. And it makes you wonder, because Kabao's soldiers are dicks whenever they go back to the first floor. Like, they're beating up those kids or whatever, or they're about to. And, I mean, usually you lead by example. So, I mean, not saying Kabao is beating up kids, but obviously he has not instilled his morals within the group that he created. So it makes me wonder. It makes you wonder where Kabao kind of went off kilter, but we never actually got that in depth either. So yeah, I mean, who knows? SEO Progressive could not go to floor 70, whatever we ended on, 72, 78, whatever it was. You could go all the way to 100. So it could add 28 floors is a lot more, world building you can do. That's a lot more game mechanics you can show us. That's a lot more characters you can introduce, and that's a lot more plot holes you could fill in. So other than that though, guys, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow on Twitter X25. I will see you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys. Well, I mean, just me talking period has improved. Yeah. So I can have some bad habits, but in some cases